All right, here we are on Thursday afternoon for another class. Y'all love being educated and educated and educated. Y'all love doing that. Of course, I'm Mama Liz, and today we have Liza Valero, not Vanna today, but Liza Valero, who I don't even know what her title is these days. She keeps changing it. What did you say? A lot. She does a lot, is correct. But Liza is going to talk to you today about developing websites, and because she does do that a lot. So Liza, with that. Oh yes, oh goodness, let's talk about the listing. Boyd is, thank goodness Boyd's always around to keep us on track. Without him, we would miss all this stuff. Listing lottery drawing is tomorrow. If you've had an appointment and you have not registered it, shame on you. Better go register it, because you could miss a chance to win $1,000. $1,000 is a lot of money. Yes. Did you register your appointment? Oh.
Mark. I need to get out there. Get my appointments.
Hopefully, if you haven't had one, you still got time. You got till midnight tonight to go get an appointment and get it registered.
Go knock on somebody's door.
We will have the live show tomorrow at 12 noon. AO Live tomorrow, where Boyd will be drawing from the 3 different bowls. I had people ask me this week, how does this work? Why has no one won? How does it really work? That's why you got that link to email the other day on the details of how it really works. Now that we're getting up to a lot of money, people are interested in how does it work. So hopefully you're newer folks, most of you, will get out there and get some appointments. And let's see how it works. See if you will win $1,000. Also remember that the $1,000 comes more easily because you have sister companies. And if you support those sister companies, we'll have more money to give away. Now, Liza Valero, woo!
Thank you, Mom. I like to have her introduce me just because she's very, very good at this. These presentations and things that I'm still getting used to it, so I will learn from her. But the first thing I'd like to do is go around and, as we always do, introduce ourselves and what office you're from. And even though I think we all know each other in here, anybody that's watching online, if you would email me and let me know, it's not going to come through. I won't be able to see it till after, but excuse me? Oh, yeah, you could tweet. I don't have my, well, yeah. You could do a Twitter and do hashtag AO Live, and y'all could have a conversation there if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, you first.
Boyd.
And what office are you from?
Right here.
And how long have you been with the company?
And how long have you been with the company?
Oh, a couple of months.
Clara Hahn, Mount Pleasant.
Nick Perry, Mount Pleasant.
Bob McFerrin, Mount Pleasant.
Rudy Matzner to be Mount Pleasant.
June Matzner, Mount Pleasant.
Mark Costello, IOP.
Donna Nettles, IOP.
Trad Sweeney, Mount P.
Marjorie Silbigger, Mount Pleasant.
Josh Hewitt, Mount Pleasant.
Mama Liz, everywhere. Stokes.
Stokes everywhere.
And I am Liza Valero. I am Liz and Boyd's daughter, for those of you that didn't know. And I do a little bit of everything up here with my father. So I am from here, whatever that may be. Okay, so I wanted to get people together today because a lot of people have requested websites, and I, in the past, have been building websites for anyone that requested it. And we were providing with those websites the property search, which is also called an IDX. with each one at no additional charge to y'all. And then there, of course, well, not of course, but the the world has changed. Come on in. Come on in. They changed, and my sources, I had two sources for the IDX. One of them was not a really high charge, but it did charge us a little, and we absorbed it. But they went way up on the price of the IDX property search, and the other one quit doing, it was no charge at all, and they quit doing that. So when they quit doing that, then we're stuck with, what do we do? Because the company, it's not right to absorb that amount of cost across the offices, because y'all own the offices, and so you don't want to be paying for somebody else's websites. So we're left with having to make some options, some choices about what you want to do. And websites, I could talk about websites for, I don't know, probably weeks without stopping. Is such a huge topic. But what I would like to try to do today is just get a broad overview of what may be best for your individual business plan and where we might go from here. I'm still going to help you do whatever you need me to do. But I just want you to know what the choices are and where we go. Now, anybody that had them before is grandfathered in. So you don't have to worry about that. And so what I want to start by saying is that with a website, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
The people that are grandfathered in still have IDX.
Yes.
So if you went
For
to,
now.
if you went out and created your agent-owned subdomain, you would be without an IDX solution because the service provider is no longer giving us an IDX option. So what are you proposing?
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you. Well, we used to, okay. I'm trying to, I'm not entirely sure I understand your question.
If I went out and created a subdomain under agent-owned,
So you wouldn't, okay, a subdomain, okay.
which is what people use, the WordPress. If I was to go out and create a website through agent-owned.
Through me?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be www.example.agentowned.com.
Not exactly.
Okay, what would that
Okay.
URL be?
Right. Okay, what I was doing, the way I was doing it, in order for it to not be a charge, was, I don't know if, is anyone in here familiar with WordPress? Raise your hand.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but.
You've heard of it? Okay. WordPress is a free, what they call open source, free platform for websites. And because it is open source, it is considered to be the most, the one that Google, the platform that Google likes the very most out of all. I guess, one, because it's got people contributing to it from all over the world. And two, there's nobody charging people for it, and that's kind of in Google's whole scheme of things. They like to do a lot of things that way, although they do charge for advertising. So, anyway, what I was doing was I have, and I still do have set up what's called a WordPress MU, WordPress multi-user. The main domain for that is aorealestate.com. And then if you requested one, you would be aorealestate.com/Mark Costello. Then if you have your own domain, we can change it so it's just Mark Costello. You don't have to go through the others part. It will just, if you type in Mark Costello, it will go to the same place. And people would have no way of ever knowing that it's had anything to do with aorealestate.com. And then I take the IDX and I add it to it. I don't want to get too technical, but either through a frame or linking to an exterior page. And if you've got more questions about it, ask me later, because I think you know a little bit about it. So just ask me. I'll tell you how I do it. Did it? I can still make the WordPress sites all day long, and it does have a cost associated with it. One, my time, but that's okay because I love doing stuff for everybody, and it's a creative outlet for me, and I want y'all to be as successful as possible. But also, there's a slight cost in hosting it. You know, we host it, self-hosted. Well, it's not self-hosted. We host it through DreamHost, but that's not a really big expense. So when they started charging for the IDXs, we had to make a change, and we said we can no longer supply them. We can supply the WordPress ones all day long, which we still can do, but you would need to add an IDX to it if you want a property search. The MLS, the Charleston MLS, CTAR, has an IDX that you can order from them for, I believe it's $11.95 a month. Is that right? Yes. And I don't think it's a frame. I believe what it comes is as a, that doesn't really matter. Sorry, take that back. You don't need to know that part. But $11.95 a month. So that would be one option for your own individual website. Another option is not to have a personal website. If you own your domain name, markcostello.com, you can point it so that it goes to the profile page on AgentOwned.com, and then you could use that in your marketing material. The negative to that is that anybody that uses that search at AgentOwned is not necessarily going to end up back with you. You know, they just go off who knows where. And I don't, right now I would not have a way of tracking it back. So I don't love that option. But that is an option. Okay, I just don't think and that would not cost you anything but the cost of your domain per year, which is around $9, $10 per year for a custom domain. But what I was going to ask before I even started down this road was, have y'all given any thought about what you want a website to do for you? Why do you want a website? Have you? Okay. Besides her saying that you need one, and probably everybody else saying that you need one, and you just assuming that you need one, have you given any thought to why?
You want your name out there.
Okay, to represent yourself in a business-like, professional manner. So one reason to have one is what I call an online business card. Okay, so when somebody, you can put it at the bottom of your business card, somebody types it up, it comes up, it looks really pretty and looks very professional, and they go, this person really is selling real estate, and that's good. Okay, and you've made contact with them. And would there be any other reason that you would want a website?
Referral outlet.
And what do you mean by referral outlet?
These are some
But still things about you and people that you've met before. Okay, people that you've sent to the site yourself in one way or another. Right, or business cards or marketing efforts of some kind. But is there any other? Yes, Nick?
Lead capture?
Lead capture. That's one way of putting it. Yes, Nick. Lead capture is what most people, even if you don't really think of it, I guess subconsciously you're thinking it. Most people go into having a website with the idea in mind that they're going to have this website and that people are going to search for houses on Google and they're going to find your website and then they're going to ask you to show them the house and then you're going to get clients, people that do not know you. So you've got two groups, the group that does know you or you drove them to the site yourself and the people that do not know you. And one huge misconception is that just by putting a website up, that people will come to it and you'll get business from it. It isn't the way it works. And I want y'all to know that because you will be, I'm sure you already are, bombarded with salespeople telling you that you need to have these websites. And you just absolutely don't, usually. And that's one of the reasons I'm here, is to help you. You know, if they say, you need to have this, you can say, Liza, do you really need to have that? And I say, no, you really don't need to have that. And Carla Davis does that all the time with me. She's so great. She always emails me, and I email her back, and she's like, thank you. But anyway, you'll be bombarded with it.
When you're saying that, what does it mean? You're saying, oh, you need this SEO company representing you. Is that what you're
Well, yes, or you will have a salesperson from, say, Z57 real estate website say, do you currently have a website? And if you say no, they'll say, well, you definitely need this, and they've got their sales pitch. If you say yes, then they'll find some reason why that you need to switch to Z57. There's a lot of companies out there, and I'm not saying any of them are bad or good. It's just that you will be bombarded with it.
What are they asking us to do?
They want you to sign up for a website, and the cost of that website is generally, I have never seen one less than $50 a month. And usually they're more like $90 to $100 a month, sometimes all the way up to $200 a month. And there's really no difference in them. And exactly, they don't do anything. I mean, just because you have a website does not mean that people are going to find your website and contact you. If you look up Charleston Real Estate, Charleston SC Real Estate, if you Google that and you push search and you look underneath, it will tell you how many results come up. And I did it right before I came in here. And when I did it, there's 10,300,000 websites that are competing for people that type in Charleston SC Real Estate. So what I'm trying to do is tell you, in order to gain outside business for people you do not know through the web, which is most people use the web to look at houses. I mean, almost all do. It is not something you can go into and just say, I want my site to rank Charleston SC Real Estate for sale. Well, I hate to tell you, but that would be unbelievably hard. Yes.
Okay, so I just typed it in, and the first one that comes up when I typed in Charleston SC Real Estate, the casino group.
Okay. Yeah. Is that under the is the paid or not
So
paid?
that's the paid. So the not paid is Carolina one.
Okay. And then you probably have some map ones.
Zillow.
Zillow, Trulia,
Realtor.com.
Realtor.com. You're competing with all of those. What's interesting about that Carolina one coming up first, depending on what browser you're using, what setting you have on your browser, how much your browser is tracking your history, Google will, Google will alter the results that it gives you. But what's the number? How many? Do you see up top? 10 million. Right. All right. And then I looked at Mount Pleasant, and Mount Pleasant was 3,980,000. 3,980,000. So, okay. All right. So there's two ways to go about it. You can do pay-per-click campaigns, which is basically paid advertising, which is when you typed it in, you see them at the top. The three at the top are paid, they're yellow, and then all on the right side are paid, and you pay per click. Yes, sir?
And you know who clicks on those? The C57 and the SEO and all the people that want to sell you something and tell you that they can become number one, and you don't have to
like you.
And yeah. And if you people that want to just spend your money and they're not very nice, they just click it a lot and they spend a lot of your.
There's challenges to.
And the thing about pay-per-click, seriously, it is not I'm not saying that's a bad way to go. It's not a bad way to go. You will get about a 1% of the clicks that you get are going to be actual leads. That's usually. They maybe two if you're lucky. Okay. Fortunately, AgentOwned.com, we have a very unusual setup. We're a hybrid between an organic and a pay-per-click. And so our rate is much, much, much higher. So the organic is the other kind of website, which is you don't pay. You are ranked by Google, and Google tries to serve up its searchers, the people that are searching, the most relevant content to your search. Because if it gives you relevant content, you are going to continue to go to Google, okay? And they can sell more ads. But if you're typing Mount Pleasant real estate for sale and they put up there as the first link Gerald's Tires, you're going to quit using Google and you're going to use something else, and Google won't be able to sell ads. So Google has this incredibly complex algorithm that changes weekly, bi-weekly. They've changed their whole platform twice in the last year. It's wreaked havoc on people that work organic sites through, I guess the best word would be trickery. Because you could do certain things and then Google would like it a lot and you'd raise way up and then Google would realize you're cheating and then they'd dump you down. Anyway, try to stay on topic. I'm sorry. Okay, so like I said, I could talk forever about this stuff.
Have relevant content in your website.
Okay. If you have relevant content that you have written yourself, that have come from your head, and you put it on there, and you put it on there consistently, even if you put on it once a month, an article or post, they're called, once a month, you will be ahead of 99% of real estate agents out there right now. Yes.
Your meeting on Tuesday, you had mentioned that you will be discussing in future shows, where you can post to one place and it goes to your social media sites. My question on that, and you don't have to explain the system, is would that be considered duplicate content?
No. It's not duplicate content. That's a great question. Mark was asking me because you can set it up so that when you post on your site, it's automatically fed in a snippet, summary, a little summary with a link to Twitter and Facebook. So you get all that exposure of all those that network, the reach they call it. It is not duplicate it is not duplicate content. Google definitely will put you in the dumpster for duplicate content. And it's not because, well, I won't explain the technicality, but it's not. But duplicate content is a problem. If you take an article and you from another website and you put it on your website, and not only is it plagiarizing and I'm pretty sure it's against the law in some way, but also Google will just dump you. And it's amazing how much Google really, really tracks it. I mean, I don't see how it does what it does. But every single page on the internet, Google has stored on a server someplace. Every single page.
I would watch images too.
All images are huge. You do not want to use copyrighted images. You will get in trouble. And they have ways of tracking that. Now, there is a place that you can go to find free images. I'll have to send you the link if you want to use them. It's in Flickr, and it's called the Commons, I believe. Something with Commons. And that means people have put their photos in there and said, yes, anybody can use them. But do not go using websites from other places. Pictures from other places. Okay, so that being said, you get your website set up. If you post once a month, you're going to be ahead of 99% of real estate people out there, because most real estate people get their website set up and then they never do anything with it again except for to call me every once in a while and say, why isn't this working? And it could have been like that for 6 months and they just never even looked at it. So you do have an advantage, even though there's 10 million of them out there. Of those 10 million, there's not many that are good. Okay. So the smaller the niche you make, the better the chance that you have of getting some real leads. Meaning, if you concentrate on posting once a month on, say, Brickyard subdivision, or once a week on Brickyard subdivision, it will not take you very long to get up in the page ranking organically to be at, if not the top, close on the first page. And what's also great about that is that if somebody's searching for Brickyard subdivision homes for sale, they are much further along in their home buying process than someone that is searching Charleston SE real estate. Because you get people that have searched Charleston SE real estate, they don't have a clue. And the time from contact to close is so much longer. You would have to be able to keep in touch with that person for a much longer period of time than you would if you had a niche. You may not have as many leads coming in, but the ones that do are going to want to use you, and your conversion rate is going to be very, very high. So I encourage all of y'all, if you're going to post on your website, to have a niche. It doesn't necessarily have to be a subdivision. It could be like a weird lone segment of the population, or just something specific. And always put yourself in the searcher's shoes. Think about what would somebody actually type in that Google box. And that's what you want to put as, say, your title. So if you could switch places. Okay, so getting back to the options. So our first option is WordPress with paying, let's say $12 a month because it's $11.95. $12 a month.
Or you could do WordPress and go to the profile for free.
You could, absolutely. But the problem with that is when they do a property search, that property search is going to come into me.
It's lost.
It's coming to me, and I have no way of knowing that it originated there.
Right, but if you were just wanting a electronic business card
Yeah.
to let people know you were out there,
Yes.
that would be set.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. You could do that. You could do the WordPress for $12 a month, IDX from the MLS. I will tell you, even though Google does love WordPress and it is the best out there as far as SEO goes, and there's challengers. I mean, but it is not the most user friendly. It is a little difficult to learn. I tried to learn it once, and then I put it away for about 3 or 4 months, and then tried again, and then put it away for 3 or 4 months, and then I finally just learned it. And when I did, it's sort of like a second language. All of this is like a second language. And when you learn it, then all of a sudden it all starts making sense. So,
But now, at least as far as what they do in posting already, it's not difficult.
no.
What you're saying is just to set it up is what you have to
Well, oh, definitely, yes, because I taught myself to set up a WordPress MU self-hosted, thing that we're doing with subdomains and subdirectories and all of that. But even for posting, there is a little bit of a learning curve because you have to learn. It's not all that hard, but it's not the easiest either. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, you could have a blogger one, which is the Google answer to WordPress, which is super easy, but doesn't get very good SEO. Why? I don't know. It doesn't really seem to make sense, except for the fact that maybe Google doesn't want to compete with itself. That's the only reason I can think of. Then, okay, let me think of the different options. We have that. We have, for newer people out there, while they're building their site, or if you would rather not build a site and just have an online business card, I have proposed that if you send me an article that's at least 3 paragraphs long with an original photo and just email it to me, I will put it on AgentOwned.com, credit you with a special coding that is done so that you get very good credit, not just regular name and picture. And for that, I will give you extra leads. The reason for that is, I haven't talked to y'all about this yet, but it makes, everybody knows that's been with my lead classes, they know I don't go in order. That's not what I do. I try to match up the best person to the best situation, and I also try to match up the person that's going to do the best job, just because that's the only thing fair to everybody else. But the reason that we get so many leads is because we have so much content on Agent Owned. So instead of starting from fresh and trying to build it up, you can contribute, which is going to bring more leads to Agent Owned. So therefore, it makes sense that you get extra leads, period. I'm not saying how many, but that's the deal. So that is an option. And then, I wrote it down. Hold on.
Lisa, they could do that as well as have it on.
That's what I meant. Well, if you don't want to do a website, fine. But yes, you can do that as well as build your own at the same time. The content cannot be the same. You would have to rewrite it and take 2 pictures. And I mean, not like completely rewrite it, just mix it up a little bit. And then what I do is I get it and I do what's called, I put the keywords in it, I do the meta tagging, all that kind of junk that's way advanced, and I'll have a class for that for whoever's interested in it. But so that's one way to get more leads, and then you're building up your website at the same time. Now, the website provider that we use for AgentOwned.com is called Mersal. It's a company named Mersal out of Myrtle Beach, and that is an SEO organic platform company, and I like them very much. You have the option to have a frame from them put into a WordPress site that I make. That will cost $60. No, sorry. It's either not $100 to set it up, and then $20 a month. No, you're talking about the premium. I'm just saying if they wanted a frame like they were getting before, at no charge. I believe it's $30 a month. I'm sorry. I believe it's $60 to set it up, and either $20 or $30 a month, I should know this, to maintain it. The reason I don't know it all that well is, to me, that doesn't make a bit of sense. If you're going to do that, just do the MLS. You're not getting anything more or better. Don't do it. Just do the MLS one. Okay? That's why I don't know the facts on that so much. Now, you can get the premium Mersal account, which is what AgentOwned is on, which really just adds a fully indexed IDX, which you really don't need, especially if you are starting at a niche and it's expensive. It's $70 a month or whatever. You don't need it. And $100 to set it up. I'm just telling you, you don't. But some people really like it because it's kind of user-friendly a little bit.
When you, the terminologies,
I know, it's like Greek. I know.
When you set up an IDX like that, are you talking about them being able to scan through things on MLS?
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. When I say IDX, that means it's a property search. So that means that they can go on there and say, I would like to see all the homes for sale in Charleston, in Brickyard, that are 4 bedrooms, push search, and it pulls it up. And then that information, them doing that only goes to you. Okay? So that's IDX. Okay. Now, what I've come across just recently, and it's made me really, really excited, is the people that used to do my free IDX have rebranded themselves and put out a new product, what I think is, it's phenomenal. I really do. I really, really do. And it's called Website Box. Yes, websitebox.com. Now, I printed out some of the, not one for each. Y'all just pass them around and take a look. Those are some of that's like examples of the styles that you could pick from the websites. What they are doing is completely different, and it's kind of hard. It was hard for me to wrap my head around. But, okay, this is what they're doing. It's $99 to set it up, $0 a month, forever. I know. And it's fully, not only does it work on your PC and your laptop, it is mobile device integrated. So iPad, Android, all of it. And I'll tell you, that is huge because 30% of our traffic now is coming in through that? Through mobile. Okay, 30% of AgentOwned.com is coming in through mobile. And we do not have, our site does not change for mobile devices. And our site looks fine on the iPads, it looks fine. On the phones, you have to, open it up a little or whatever. And I'm happy with that. Mersol is not going to develop a mobile application. Oh, I shouldn't say application because a mobile version anytime soon. It's not on their plate. What's more important about this than the fact that whether somebody can see it well or not is that Google has decided within the last week that it is going to start heavily penalizing sites for not being mobile capable, to be able to switch. So, and I had already been looking into finding another vendor to add to AgentOwned.com for the mobile part of it. And the price was a lot, let me tell you, a lot. I mean, the prices I was getting were running anywhere from $800 to $3,000 to set it up, and then $600-700 a month to run them, host it.
$90 setup, doesn't
$99.
include the IDX.
Yes, it does.
Can I ask a question?
Not only does it include the IDX, it includes a strong CRM, customer relations management, strong.
This is website box.
Yes. Okay. And it comes, all the versions come. Yes, Barb.
How many pages are you?
Unlimited pages. I was talking to this guy this morning because I've had a relationship with them for a long time from when they were RealtySoft. And so I started talking to him about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is brilliant. I mean, this is, I just don't even know what to say. It's brilliant. It really is. Because he says hosting really doesn't cost that much. People tell you it costs a whole bunch. They charge you a whole bunch for it. But anybody in computers know it doesn't cost anything to host something. So and what they do is they upsell. I mean, they have add-ons, they call them. Or it's like a little app store, he says. This is what they're going to have. So it comes with everything you need. What you may want, so like the contact form is all in there, unlimited pages. I don't think they've even developed any of the add-ons yet. But it is a fully developed website. So,
Ads on it?
no.
Great question.
It is a great question. Does it have ads on it? No. And I know this is for real because, like, I have been talking to these people for quite a few years, and I have always been discussing with them that this really would be a great way to approach the whole market. And I can't take credit for the fact that they came out with a free IDX, but after some conversation, they did come out with free IDX, and now they've come out with this, which is even better. Even though it's $99, you pay it one time, that's it.
Let's take AgentOwned's website. If you were to integrate that over to here, you know how much bandwidth?
It'd be massive,
Visitors clicking?
massive.
They don't care?
Well, I'm not saying they don't care. I spoke to the president, I was speaking to the president, and I was saying, how can you do this? It is unlimited. They want to target individual agents. But yeah, you can have bandwidth, everything. I can't say they don't care. I bet they would not really love to have AgentOwned.com because I think right now we have 48,000 pages of content on that site. That's why it brings in all those leads. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get one of these, and that's going to be our mobile. And I'm going to build it into the code of AgentOwned.com, so when Google indexes it, we got the mobile too, and we're not going to get hurt.
What a find.
I know. Thank you. I'm so glad somebody else is as excited as me. I was so excited when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh.
Totally understand
I know, it's all Greek, I know, but one day you will. One day you will.
Her title is Business Development.
I do, and I get excited about things. Like when I first found out about, or when I got off the phone with him, I go into Dad's office and I said, "Oh my gosh!" And he just looks at me, and I'm just like, "It's so exciting." He didn't think it was nearly as exciting as I did, but that's all right. I get excited over weird stuff, I guess. But that, if you want my opinion, that is what you need to do. You get full-time tech support, phone support, live chat online with those people, plus all my help that you want. They set it up. Whichever, and I got tired of copying the designs. There's so many designs. It's got the IDX property search.
Wow.
It's got unlimited pages, unlimited. And just for the kicker, I said, well, what about Val? What are y'all doing about Val? And now you start talking, see, I might,
They don't know what that
I know. But I will just say that it's very exciting, and they do not do it now, but if I can get them the instructions from Joseph, they will do it for us.
Virtual office.
Yes, sir. Virtual office website, which means that we will be the only people in Charleston that will have a website that can display sold, withdrawn, expired information from the MLS.
Would that come to the agents as well?
It'd be on your site. I know.
Jeez.
I know.
Truly in Charleston.
I mean, let me tell you, when we have a vow like that, and all of y'all have vows like that, everybody else is just going to be like, I mean, really, it is that big. It really is. So that is what I would highly suggest you do. Now, they do have discount pricing. Like I think if you get 10 at a time, they drop it $20, so it's only $79 each, and so on, so on. So it may make more sense for y'all to let me know that you want to do it, and then we do it. Just tell him that we're doing. Well, you could just we could pass the sign-up sheet around, and that way we can see how much lower we get. Now that's the biggest price drop, because then once after that, it drops off just like a little tiny bit for even more people. But I think after 10, it's pretty significant. So.
Could you message you I could sign in and put yes by?
Okay. And, but I really, really strongly believe that, even if you just want an online business card, it's still what you need to do, because your online business card still needs an IDX. And it is going to cost less than a year's worth of the MLS IDX. I mean, it's great. It's great. It's really great. Those that have computers, are you looking it up? Did you put this? It's slick, isn't it? Oh, Nick, you pulled it up too? It's very slick. And I like those guys. They are good people. So that I do not ramble any longer, let me check my notes one more time. I believe, I was going to mention, there are some solutions out there right now that are allowing you to, or selling you the ability to put a property search, IDX property search, on Facebook, your Facebook business page. It is generally expensive, $35 to $45 a month. I don't know how I feel about that. For a while, I was kind of thinking, maybe that would be a kind of a neat angle. Instead of having a website, have that. But then I've changed my mind, because what I think will happen is people will just be too distracted by Facebook. Your goal has got to get them to be from Facebook to your site. Don't have them stay on Facebook. So I have shifted my position on that, and I think that you need to not do that. Your goal is always to drive people to your website and keep them there as long as you can keep them there. And have a niche. And if you start with a niche in that kind of site, it works. It really works. But it will take at least 3 months to start paying off as far as leads go.
You do need to figure out what your niche is, come up with a niche.
Yeah, and Mom said you do need to figure out what your niche is and stick with it. I'll help you. If you want advice, your domain name should have something to do with your niche. Even though you own your name, that can also go to the same place. But your niche should be, and the primary domain name should be relevant to your niche for best SEO. But I can have a whole nother SEO class later, and I promise you, it will start making sense. I promise you. I used to call my personal website, it's all Greek to me, because it's like, oh no, I'm sorry. From Greek to geek is what I called it, because at first I was like, I don't know what these people are talking about. Yes, what happened was, I really briefly, I sold real estate for 10 years. And very proud to say I was very successful, extremely successful. I mean, what would you expect? my mother, my father. Anyway, but on that note, I do want to say that I never got referrals from them.
Absolutely not.
Never. And people always thought that my success always came because they fed it to me, and they never gave it to me. Anyway, so then I played professional poker for a year and a half. And then I came back and helped with the management of the company. And one thing when I walked in, and then I came to help with the management of the company, and I really got excited about things. But the very first thing I was saying is I was looking at our website, and I was like, we got to do something about this. This is bad. I mean, we can't have this. So everybody said, okay, yeah, we agree. And so they put me in charge of trying to find a replacement third-party provider. Well, I always started talking to these guys, and I realized I couldn't talk to them. I didn't know. You have to know knowing the questions is the hardest part. I mean, if you don't know the questions, you can't even expect to understand answers. And so they can tell you anything, and you don't know the difference. And so then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to teach myself from the ground up. I did not know, like when someone would say, attach this file to an email and mail it to me, I didn't know really what that was. I was in real estate, and very ADD. And so I knew nothing. And I taught myself how to do it from the ground up, so that you don't have to. You've got a person that you can trust, which is me, who will tell you the truth about what you need and what you don't need. Because we don't make any money on any of this. And I don't want y'all taken advantage of. And I will, one last thing I meant to mention in the social media class. There are so many people out there right now calling themselves social media experts. I can promise you there is no such thing. First of all, social media and the internet world is changing way too fast for anyone to be an expert at it. And, I don't even know what second of all would be. But they're just not. They're just saying there's no one to call them on it. You know what I mean? It's like, anyone could say they're a social media expert and not know anything they're talking about. So that's all for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you, online people. And ask me questions, email me, whatever.